Divisional round of the playoffs is considered by many the best week in football, but this week half of the matchups look the other two look pretty good. But before we move on to talking about these games, I kind of want to talk about last week. Last week I went 2-2. Of course, you had the Kansas City choke job, which I'm pretty sure like 97% of the nation picked that game wrong, and you had Atlanta beating the Rams, which was kind of a shocker to me. I kind of wanted the Rams to win, but that was just more personal bias because I don't really like the Falcons and I really like the Rams. But this week I'm gonna, instead of going in order like you know to where the games are played, I'm just gonna go in interest in matchup. Like the most interesting game is gonna be last, and the least interesting game is the one we're gonna talk about next. And that game is Tennessee at New England. God, Tennessee is the worst playoff team currently in the playoffs. Like right now, like out of the remaining 8, you can make an argument for the Eagles, but I do think Tennessee is the worst one. Mike Mularkey's a total liability. And last week, Marcus Mariota just saved his job. And this week, they're not going to get the... I don't want to say luck, but kind of like they don't get the privilege of playing an Andy Reid-led playoff team. Because Andy Reid has a history of choking away games in the playoffs. If you guys don't remember, I want to say it was 2013. Like the Chiefs were up like 45-20 against the Colts in the fourth quarter. The Colts ended up coming back and beating them that game. So yeah, Andy Reid does indeed have a history. The Titans do not have the privilege of playing a team like that again. The Patriots don't care. The Patriots don't care if they're up by 20. They'll leave their foot on the gas pedal and keep on scoring. If you're talking about matchups, I mean, the Patriots defense isn't very good, but people forget about Belichick, man. Belichick schemes to stop at what you do best, and what the Titans do best is run the ball. Belichick will completely find a way to stop the run and force Marcus Mariota to win the game, and that's something I don't think he can do. I don't think the Tennessee Titans can win a shootout versus the New England Patriots. I just don't see Marcus Mariota going blow for blow with Tom Brady. Do the Titans stand a chance? It's very little, but it's there. And this is how they do it if they want to get the upset. They have to run the ball efficiently. They have to get Mariota outside the pocket. They got to mix him some runs with Mariota. They got to keep Brady off the field because that secondary of Tennessee is not capable of stopping Tom Brady. They got to keep Brady off the field to beat Tom Brady. That's how they're going to have to do it. But I don't think they're going to do it. I am taking the New England Patriots in a blowout, 42-17. The next game, Atlanta Falcons at Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles they're a talented team, don't get me wrong, but I just do not trust Nick Foles. The Eagles team is relatively young. A good amount of them haven't been in the playoffs. And without Carson Wentz, like, they're not the same team they were when they were the talk of the nation type of thing. And the Falcons, I don't like the Falcons. Their defense is just okay. Their offense is not playing up to the standard that it should be. Their offense should be playing way better, but last week was a step in the right direction for the Atlanta Falcons. They did play better than they have all season long. So, I do think the Eagles might make a game out of it. I think it's possible that they do. They do have the talent around the team. They are at home. But at the end of the day, the Eagles aren't all that playoff ready. The Falcons have all sorts of playoff experience. The Eagles secondary isn't that good. And Julio Jones is a monster, man. He did have a down year by his standards, but that doesn't stop Julio Jones from being Julio Jones. Julio Jones is still Julio Jones, man. So, I do think the Atlanta Falcons somehow pull this one out. It's going to be kind of a close game at first, but then eventually the Falcons just pull away. I'm taking the Falcons 30-17. Next game. This one they start to get interesting. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Earlier this year, if you guys recall, the Jaguars just completely embarrassed Ben Roethlisberger 30-9, intercepting Ben Roethlisberger 5 total times, making Ben Roethlisberger question if he wanted to be in the league or not. Like, they made him contemplate retiring. That's how bad it was. And the Steelers should not have lost that game. I remember watching this game. I remember like if it was yesterday, but the Steelers were able to move the ball up and down the field. Ben Roethlisberger just threw horrible passes, and Mike Tomlin's not that good of a coach. He's overrated. Always been an underachiever. I mean, the guy is not that good. And I say that because he had the Jaguars beat that week, but he just kept going towards the pass. Like, why? Like, you have Le'Veon Bell, arguably the best running back in the league. Why aren't you going to run with him? So I do expect Mike Tomlin and the Steelers to learn from their mistakes. And another thing from last week, the Buffalo Bills did a good job of shutting down Leonard Fournette. I expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to take that formula, shut down Fournette, make the terrible Blake Bortles beat you, and then don't turn the ball over on offense. Because really, the formula to beating these Jaguars is so simple. All you gotta do is 1, stop the run. 2, don't turn the ball over. That's really all it comes down to beat these Jaguars. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers can manage to do that. They're at home. The Jaguars haven't been in a playoff environment in a very long time. You can talk about last week, but come on, man. Last week was not a playoff environment. The Jaguars haven't been to the playoffs in a while, and the Bills haven't been to the playoffs in a while. So last week I wouldn't really count it as a playoff game for the Jaguars. The playoffs start here for the Jaguars against a legitimate playoff team, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who know how to play in playoff games, and the Jaguars have no idea how to do so. So I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers in a really close game, 20-14. And now this one. This was probably my favorite game of the week, man. New Orleans Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings. Pretty much winner of this game wins the Super Bowl. It's what it is. Because I think these two teams are the best teams in the league. We got, of course, a Saints team which is led by Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. They have Alvin Kamara. They have Mark Ingram. And that forms an outstanding running back duo, running back two-headed monster, down there in New Orleans. They got Michael Thomas, who's a really good wide receiver. They got Ted Ginn Jr., who is a great complement to Michael Thomas. So they got the weapons, and their defense is, kind of middle of the pack, but they do enough to win games. And this team can beat you with the running game. They can straight up just run the ball right down your throat and, just beat you. Or if you want to stop their run and make Drew Brees beat you, that's not going to work out for you, man. Because Drew Brees is just so good. And their defense, if you guys saw last week's game against Carolina, they're not all that good. They're middle of a pack defense, but they get the job done. They can make a crucial stop to win the game. That's important. Now the Vikings, man, my God, their defense, Harrison Smith, Xavier Rhodes, Anthony Barr, that nasty defensive line is going to be a great matchup. I think that defense, man, best defense in the league right now. Of course, you switch over to the offense, you got Adam Thielen, you got, Stephon Diggs, you got Kyle Rudolph, led by none other than Case Keenum. Yeah, Case Keenum. He's been playing lights out this season. It's crazy. and it's going to be a really good game. Probably two of my favorite teams right now in the league. Two of my favorite teams this season, besides, of course, our Texans. But this game, man, at the end, I just see the Saints pulling this one out. For one reason. I don't think Case Keenum can go blow for blow with Drew Brees. I just don't think so. They're at home, yes, but man, I really do think the Saints are going all the way this year. I think the Saints are legit. I don't think these Vikings can do enough defensively to stop this offense. Like, you don't know what they're going to do. Like, they could come out and just tear you up through the passing game, and they could just hand it off. Like, yeah, this is going to be a great game. I cannot wait to watch this one. This one might be game of the year right here. So stay tuned for this one. And that's all I really have for you guys today. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your own predictions for the divisional round in the playoffs, which is considered by many the best week in football. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.